Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate how we draft a real property report from scratch. Here I have an AutoCAD drawing. All that is in this drawing is some line work and curves that came from a register plan. It's on a layer called calcs. I've got some stuff here. It's just from a sample file for drafting. So when I do zoom extend, that's all that there is. There are currently no points in the drawing. If I list points, nothing comes up. Just to show you how the line work was drafted, it came from this legal plan. So we are here. In this block, we did a real property report on lot 1, block 25 of this plan. So I actually went around and drafted all this line work using all the information that is on this plan. Radiuses, deltas, distances.
You have a text message.
That's basically right here. Okay, so now I am going to import the points that came from the survey. So I'm going to put points TPS. TPS stands for total station. I'm going to make that the current layer. I'm going to go points, import points. Going to select the survey data, which is right here, already on the folder. Hit open, and I already know the format is point number, northing, easting, Z description. So point number, northing, easting, elevation, and raw description. Okay, and we're just going to import that as is. So the point just came into the drawing. I don't see them because they're somewhere else, so I need to do a zoom, extend, and we can see that the points are right here in the corner. Okay, now these points were surveyed in an arbitrary coordinate system. So I'm just going to draw a line from point number 1, which is probably his first setup point, to point number 2, which is his backside point. So I'm just going to type in L, comma, or sorry, that's not comma. What is that? Pause. Okay, sorry, I mean apostrophe. Okay, so point number 1. Okay, sorry. Apostrophe PN for point number 1 to 2. Okay, so we just drew a point line from point number 1 to point number 2. All these other points that are close are backside checks or checks. There's point number 1. If I list point number 1, coordinates for it are 100, 100, 100. Okay, that was probably the starting point of the survey. Point number 2 is all the way down here, which doesn't make sense. I bet you that's a bad shot. It has to do with the way he sets up his job. So I bet you point number 3 should be same as point number 2. I'm just going to draw a line from here to point number 3, and that's more like it. So that's his backside point, and the angle of this line is 59, 59, 57. So he probably set up at point number 1, gave it a coordinate 100, 100, 100, backsided it something far away, and assumed an angle of 60 degrees. Okay, so point number 2 and this line are garbage. I'm just gonna delete those. Okay, and point number 1 is a drill hole. Point number 2 is basically, I don't know what it is. It could be a roof peak, something far away. Okay, so now I need to move these points onto the plan, or move the plan onto the points, and then I need, so it's a translation, and then I need to rotate the points onto plan using 2 iron posts that were found in the plan. Okay, but before I do that, I need to determine which pieces of evidence or found eyes are best to use. Okay, so we got some found eyes here. We've got some other found eyes here. So got two shots for a found eye that are exactly 15 cents apart. So this was a pin that was bent. Surveyor has shot the top of it and has shot the base of it, eye hole and top, and the top and the base are 15 cents apart. So this isn't a good one to use. Okay. Look, I'm gonna look at his field notes. Here are the field notes from Surveyor. So everywhere he's got a red dot is where he found an iron post. So found one here, one here, one here, and there's point numbers on them. So he found two found eyes there, he found one here. Okay. So for example, I know that the distance between this iron post and one over here should be 98.6. Now that's an arc distance. This, even though it looks like a line, it's actually a curve with a large radius. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to, instead of moving the points onto the plan, I'm going to move this line work, everything that's on the layer calc. I'm going to make a block out of it. Right now this is 30 different objects made up of lines and arcs. I'm going to make a block out of it. So I've got everything selected. I'm going to go Control Shift C. Okay. And then it's asking me for specify a base point. So I'll just use this as a base point. And then I'm going to go Control Shift V. So I've got everything pasted as a block. Just going to put it there. So now when I select this, this is a block. Okay. So I'm just going to move it. M for move from that point to this found eye, because I think that's where it's supposed to be. Okay. Now you can right away you can see the rotation. So let's say I'm going to use that pin over here and this pin to rotate my survey onto. Okay. So I'm going to select all the points. So I just selected one point, right click, select similar. Okay, so I've got 137 Kogo points selected right now. And I'll just select that line as well. Okay, and I'm going to type in RO for rotate, specify base point. So the base point is going to be that pin. I'm going to fix that. Okay, and then I'm going to type in R for reference, or clicked here. So reference angle is going to be from this pin to this pin, and I'm going to use the eye hole because eye hole is the better. This pin is bent, so the base of the pin is where it was meant to be. So I'm going to basically, you can see when I try to rotate, everything rotates together, and I'm going to put it on this end of this arc right here. Okay. And then when I do a distance right there, from that point to that point, that's about 7 cents, okay? Which is not great, actually. So then I'm going to check some other found eyes. So he found a pin at this point right here. This one is also bent, not bent as bad. I can do a distance DI for distance between the top and the base of this pin. It's only 66 mil, so it looks like this pin is leaning. Now this end point, that's where it's supposed to be. So if I do a distance from there to here, I've got 22 cents, which is not very good. I've got some other pins. I don't have a pin there. I have one all the way down here. If I do a distance here, we got about 17 cents. Now this is a straight pin, okay, just because I have one shot. So maybe I should be using this pin. So I'm gonna select all the points again, select similar. I'm just gonna type in M for move. Okay, move them from here. Now remember, I've got everything. So every time you're doing something to the points, you want to have everything selected at once. You don't want to skip any points because that is very dangerous. It will mess up all the work you did in the field. Okay, so now we've got this iron post fixed onto the plan. Let's see how everything else fits. Obviously these ones aren't great.